The short Stirling was the first RAF 4-engine bomber. The Stirling was designed to meet a 1936 specification for a long-range strategic bomber as a response to the growing threat from the German Luftwaffe. There was a rival designed by Supermarine, but this was destroyed in a Luftwaffe bombing raid in 1940. Initially, the short design was going to have a wing similar to the Sunderland flying boat. Unfortunately, the Air Ministry restricted the wingspan to less than 100 feet, so the aircraft fitted in existing hangars. This reduced the Stirling's high altitude performance, but gave the aircraft incredible manoeuvrability. The Stirling was used in daylight circus operations over Europe with a fighter escort, as well as night operations. Shorts wanted to improve the Stirling with an increased wingspan, more powerful engines, and cannon defensive armament. This design was not accepted, so there was no Super Stirling. The Stirling was kept in production during the war and used for transport and glider towing. The Stirling played an important role in the liberation of Europe as a night bomber, pathfinder, and troop transport. No Stirlings have been preserved. This Airfix kit dates from the 1960s and includes a tractor and bomb trolleys. It's a great Airfix classic kit. The short Sunderland is another classic Airfix kit. It first flew in 1937 and stayed in service until 1958. During the war, the Sunderland protected Atlantic convoys and sank 28 U-boats. The Sunderland also managed to fight off 6 Junkers Ju-88s, shooting down 2 of them. This encounter led to the Luftwaffe's nickname of Flying Porcupine. In 1948, Sunderlands took part in the Berlin airlift. They landed on Lake Harvel, delivering food and supplies during the Russian blockade. A Sunderland is on display at the RAF Museum in Hendon. The Handley Page Halifax. The Halifax was the second RAF 4-engine bomber. Originally intended, like the Lancaster, to be a twin-engine bomber powered by Rolls-Royce Vulture engines. The failure of the Vulture engine led to a redesigned Merlin-powered 4-engined aircraft. Usually fitting Merlins transformed an aircraft's performance. The Halifax was underpowered, and it wasn't until the Mark III, powered by Bristol Hercules engines, that performance was improved. And also new rectangular fins also improved handling after a series of unexplained crashes. Friday the 13th completed 128 missions and was displayed in London in 1945. The original aircraft was scrapped. It has been recreated and is now on display at the Yorkshire Air Museum, Elvington. The Avro Lancaster was the RAF's greatest and most successful heavy bomber. The original design was a twin-engine Manchester. This aircraft was a failure due to the unreliability of its Rolls-Royce Vulture engines. The Avro designer Roy Chadwick turned this problematic aircraft around. With a greater wingspan, 4 Rolls-Royce Merlin engines and larger tailplanes. While the Lancaster was used primarily for night raids on German cities, one of its earliest raids was flown in daylight. In 1942, 12 Lancasters from 44 and 97 squadrons attacked the U-boat engine factory in Augsburg, Bavaria. The target was severely damaged, but 7 Lancasters were lost. Squadron leaders Nettleton and Sherwood were awarded the Victoria Cross, although Sherwood's was posthumous. This model is the 1960s Revell Dambusters kit. So it's about the same age as me. The Dambusters raid in 1943 was flown by 617 Squadron, led by Wing Commander Guy Gibson. It used the Barnes-Wallis designed bouncing bomb. 2 of the 3 dams were successfully breached. 8 Lancasters of the 19 were lost during the raid. Guy Gibson was awarded the Victoria Cross, his Lancaster ED 932. Did survive the war, but it was scrapped in 1947. The control yoke and throttle quadrant are on display at East Kirkby in Lincolnshire. This is the home of the Lancaster Just Jane, so it's well worth a visit. So this is an Airfix Lancaster which came with a vacuum formed base of the Mona Dam. This one's the old Revell kit, which means a lot to me because I built one of these in the 1970s. It's one of the first models I ever built. Not this one, this is more recent. This is the Airfix Halifax. The Airfix Stirling. And I included the Sunderland as well because it's another impressive Airfix kit with 4 engines. Hope you enjoyed having a look at the 4-engine collection. Thank you very much for watching. If you subscribed, I really appreciate it.